Welcome to Health Conscientious Entrepreneurs, where we uncover secrets to balancing entrepreneurship, life, and healthy habits. I'm your host, Ngoc Tai, and today I have my friend, Dr. Klara, all the way from New Jersey. Welcome, Dr. Klara.
Hi dear, how you doing?
And happy birthday!
Yes,
Yay!
doing it on my birthday. This is a winner. No matter what I'm gonna say, everybody has to love it because who's not gonna love someone on their birthday?
Exactly, and you're on my show, which is much more powerful that you're on my show today on your birthday. Thank you so much.
No,
Yes.
it's wonderful.
Yeah, so please share your background, what you do, and what brings you joy.
Yes, so I'm a professor. I'm a championship winning athlete. I mean, I just brought some things for you just to share with you how all the different things connect in our lives. But my biggest pleasure and what really excites me is to help business owners, entrepreneurs to really fast reframe their negative mindset, their negative thinking, so they can really achieve exactly what they want to do, exactly the time when it matters the most. So I literally help people perform in the spot. And of course, it takes us a little bit of time to go through that, all those different parts. But when they do, it's like they just can get whatever they want on the spot. And that's my gift.
Yeah, that's powerful because when we spoke, I'm like, oh my God, we're connected, we're on the same page and we're going to do some amazing things together. And
Mm-hmm.
I'm so grateful for that, yeah, for what you're doing. And I'm like, yay, so excited. So share me your journey and your background, how you came about doing what you're doing now.
Yes, interestingly, originally I was born to be a very, very positive, happy-go-lucky, fearless human being. But then life, as we know, and society, and all, responding all those different responsibilities and developing like a really great load of perfectionism, I just got to that point where I was in a breaking point. And actually, I talk about that in my book and how to survive life's perfect storms, because I got to a point in my life where all parts were falling apart. So I was feeling like a victim at work, and I have the best job in this for being a professor in the university and teaching what I want. Just the best thing. But the mind plays tricks on you, right?
Yes.
Then the other thing was with the family, because when you are not happy at your work or you're not finding your true genius at work, what you do is you end up bringing that home. So then the family life starts to fall apart. But then in the past, I always had this thing, okay, fine, if other things didn't work, my sport still did work. I'm not saying that I won everything all the time, but I always could bring my best when it mattered the most. But then I started choking in my championship, something that in golf that was like this grand slam that I tried to achieve. And I was just choking for years and years. And I went to every type of therapy. I went to traditional therapy. I read and studied and researched, being a professor, all the self-help. I mean, I was a total self-help junkie, but nothing gave me the answers. So then what happened one day, literally, I was so tired of my own drama and the fact that I couldn't get out of this stuckness, that I was just like, am I really that ... broken? I mean, it just was really bad. So that's when I started to research from a different perspective. And I started in literally like in a matter of weeks, I realized what the problem was. And in a matter of months, I built what I named now the Winning Mind Blueprint. And I was able to pull together all the different puzzle pieces from all different elements of our work, from both the mental and the physical health perspective, to bring completely a complete way for people to change their lives. And it's not complicated. It just has to be done in the right sequence, which was just literally not available for us.
Yeah. And when you share that, it's like all of us has to go through that journey, right? And every expert I talk to is like, we all have the same, like, different journeys that we go through. And then it comes to like, we're almost like the bottom of the pit. And then we have this awakening. It's like, oh my God, I have to fix this, right? And then when we come out of it, it's like we're such a better person. We're like so powerful. And we can add that to the world, right?
But the problem is that I noticed now the last 10, 12 years that I've been working with students, administrators and high level managers, what I see is we used to have courage
Mm-hmm.
to take the steps,
Mm-hmm.
but the more comfortable we get in our comfort zone, where we have enough money that we are okay, we have enough of our existence that we okay, the more we settle in there,
Mm-hmm.
the less we have the courage to really look.
Mm-hmm.
But the problem is that once you're settled in there too long, eventually it's going to collapse on you.
Mm-hmm.
And that's when we suddenly frantically start to search. So what I would love to help people to do is to literally start that rebuilding process
Mm-hmm.
now before you hit the wall. And that's what I am preaching to people, is to start building things now from your physical health as well as your mental health perspective.
So do you think it comes from a place of fear?
Well, all of our, so 99% of our problems can trace back to that first level of development when it was instilled in us to be fearful of certain things.
Mm-hmm.
So when we are born, we are fearless.
Mm-hmm.
You see the little child, they fall, they get up, they fall, they walk, they climb on things, they are fearless. Now, sometimes naturally, fear is a good thing. That's another thing that I try to explain to people, that fear is a good thing.
Mm-hmm.
Not being aware and not being able to control and not being able to tame it and use it to the right direction, that's the bad thing. Yeah. So fear itself is very important, because otherwise, I would be jumping up,
Right.
off the top of the building without a parachute.
Right.
But the point is understanding when it comes up, what does it say, and how we can switch it and reframe it and build it into our body system as well as our thinking.
Mm-hmm. And so you talked about courage, where we're losing courage, right? So how do we get back our courage? Because if we lost it, we're comfortable, we're stuck, but we're not happy. Like, how do you get yourself unstuck? Like for me, I had to go through a trauma for me to get unstuck, to go and through that realization, okay, let's figure this out. What's wrong? Are you happy? Where are you? How you've been showing up, what's been serving you, etc. So I had to go through that trauma, right? So if people aren't going through the trauma, how do they get themselves the courage or the unstuck,
Well, now more than ever, I have to say everybody has gone through some form of trauma. Mm-hmm. So this, again, I am a little bit out there, but that's what makes me who I am. I do believe that there is a reason. Yeah, right. I do believe that there is a reason why this whole virus was presented to us and for us. Mm-hmm. And for me, my interpretation is that we were getting way too comfortable in mediocrity. And and I'm telling you, you could be a $1 million entrepreneur, or you could be someone who brings out $500,000 just, and you would consider yourself, phenomenal. Mm-hmm. But if you have not reached your full potential, you are still mediocre within your realm, within your potential. Mm-hmm. So when we stop doing that, when we stop searching for the next challenge and the next challenge and the next challenge, that's when literally at the end of your life, you're going to look back and you're going to say, I did okay, but I could have. Yeah. And I really believe that right now, more than ever, we were presented with this incredible opportunity. Some things, it's a problem. I think it's an opportunity. Yes. To really look into your life and say, okay, so truly, if I get this darn virus and I do die tomorrow or next week, have I really done it? Have I really done what I came here to do? Yeah. So we were presented a global trauma for all of us. And even if you were quote unquote unscathed, because obviously we were very well situated with my husband, but that doesn't matter, because even if you're financially well situated, there's no way that emotionally you were not hit by seeing what's happening to your friends, your family, to people around you. Yeah. So this was a global trauma, and this is a global wake-up call, and I am going to just hammer this as much as possible.
Yes, I'm with you. It's like for me, it was a blessing in disguise because, for we're used to doing the same thing over and over and over again. And it's like now coming to the realization and like looking at what is important in life. Is it the
Yeah.
job, the 9 to 5 job, right? Is where are you doing the same thing over and over? You're having a boss that you're not happy with, and you're doing things that's just not bringing you joy. So then how do
Yes.
you come back and say, okay, if I had 1 month to live, I had 1 week to live or 1 day to live, what is it going to bring me joy? Right? And then if that's the case, then how would I go back and start doing things to bring me joy, right? So that I don't regret when I'm like lying on my bed in the
Mm-hmm.
hospital and saying, gosh, I wish I did this. I wish I did that. I wish I had this person, just do it.
Well, I'm going to be a little bit strong right now for a second because I have to be brutally honest with your listeners.
Mm-hmm.
Even those people that are going to be watching this and they're going to be listening, there are going to be, and I call people out on this, and those who love me for it and want to then work with me because I am tough as nails, very caring, very loving, but tough as nails.
Mm-hmm.
If you're listening to all these summits, if you're listening to what's out there right now, there are going to be a group of people that are going to say, yeah, I really should,
Mm-hmm.
but then they don't.
Mm-hmm.
There's going to be then that second group of people that say, okay, I really should, and I am going to study this. I'm going to be learning this new thing and learning and learning. And they get stuck in learning.
Mm-hmm.
That's that second group of people that actually takes that step, but they are stuck in learning. And it's, I can't start this new offer, or I can't launch this particular way, or I don't think I should really call 10 potential prospects today because I'm not ready. I still have to learn how to do enrollment conversation. And then they study like 5 other coaches. No. That group of people that gotta stop learning and
Mm-hmm.
have to start doing.
Yeah.
And then there is that third group of people who would be watching, and those are the ones that I would really love you to pay attention. Is that this is the time that you have to know that you are already done enough learning that you need to do in order to act.
Mm-hmm.
And this is time to act. And acting is the one that, for example, someone like me is the best at supporting you, because in that action, we are utilizing everything you already have.
Yeah.
What do we need? What do we need for business? We need to know who the heck we are, what is our why, what is our special genius,
Mm-hmm.
what platform are we supposed to be using that special genius
Mm-hmm.
so we can monetize on it. And then what we need to know is how to present this whole thing with that confidence and in the moment performance.
Yeah.
That's all we need to know.
Yeah.
That's all it is. But it needs to be done, and not just learned, but done. Let's get doing.
Yeah. And you're so right. I mean, I was in that second group of people, and I was enrolled like in KBB. I was enrolling this other Jacob Karras affiliate marketing. I was enrolled in like other coaching, and then virtual events, and I keep learning and learning and learning. I was like, okay, something has to happen now. So then finally,
it's time to do.
yeah, finally I enrolled in Shanda's course, and I'm like, oh my God, and now I'm doing this event. I'm doing this huge summit and taking actions. I'm connecting with all these experts, and it's just been so powerful because I finally stepped out of my trying to learn and learn and learn, because I feel like I wasn't good and my brain, I didn't get it yet because I'm like still afraid that I'd make a mistake. And so this one, you know what, I don't care. I'm just going to do it. If this, and whatever happens, happens. If I'm missing some deadline, yes, okay, well, I'm just going to do it. And it's been so wonderful meeting all the experts and meeting all the connections I've had. So these amazing relationships I'm building, and it's just really powerful. So I stepped out of that, but I needed a coach, and you have to find the right coach.
Yes, you do. And the funny thing is that 2 things just came to mind when you said what you said. One is obviously the coach is essential. And I'm an athlete. I am a lifelong athlete. My whole life, that was my only, and always, always what made the difference for me. And that's why I have, even though that I'm coaching, I still have two different coaches in two different parts of my life. Me, the mindset coach, have a mindset coach because we have our blind side, and we just, you can't imagine how much that can help you. But the point is that what you said was how much fun it is what you do. So here's the thing. So many of the entrepreneurs are dreading, for example, the enrollment conversation, and they have this gift and they should be coaching one-on-one. They have the experience, but it's like, oh, but what if they say no? What? No. See, here is the thing. Just this last week, because every month I have 5 spots available because I have a lot of work to do in my life. So I only have 5. I have limited availability for my private coaching. So I had 3 different enrollment conversations, and I told 3 different people. Amazing, right? The first person was in that first group that the third group actually that I was talking to you about, that, ready to take action. She knows she needs to have some more learning, but ready to take action. But there was one person in this group that did not end up enrolling. And when we are done with the conversation, I could have said, oh, shoot, now what, Paula? Now I have to. No, it was, if you go into any action that you take, any, including this, without any expectation of outcome, and you literally listen and hear and participate and take in everything they say, you cannot lose.
That's right.
No, you may not enroll this person, but the funny thing was, this was 10 days ago, I didn't enroll this person, but because we had such a beautiful conversation, and she couldn't financially afford that at the time, and then what we did was we continued the conversation. I was not negative, she wasn't negative, and now she's looking, for another tier within my value. I have my value letter, and she's enrolling in the other tier, and then perfect. So we're gonna work with her and build her up so she can go in the higher level. But the point is that it wasn't about money, it wasn't about outcome, it wasn't about getting a new. It's about doing what you were meant to do, and the conversation will be amazing. So if you're out there, it is for your health.
Yes.
Nothing else but your mental and physical health, to do what you were meant to do. And do it.
Yeah. It's so powerful because I feel it's the same. I feel like I'm stepping away from my accounting career and going into this health avenue that is completely, I would never have thought that I would have gone into, right? But I just love it because I feel that I'm making impact, sharing what I know, connecting people, and just having these meaningful conversations. Because all of my life I've been surrounding myself with health, experts. My friends are health people, and I'm the only anomaly one that keeps like, okay, well, I think this is a calling, that I'm finally stepping into what I'm supposed to do, and creating this beautiful life and beautiful connection with people, and just getting out of the fear. I think it's a fear, right? It's that one thing, it's a mind where the fear is like, okay, well, can I do it? Can I not? Am I good enough to do it? Do I have enough knowledge? And that's why I keep paying for all these courses. And finally, I found somebody who was in alignment with me, even though it was like keep looking and looking. I just finally found someone, and that's all it is. Because it's not the coach is different. It's just like, what coach do you gravitate to that is in alignment with who you are as a person and your values, right? I think at the end of the day, that's what it is. It's all about. It's like, do they have something that you can learn from? Do they understand you? Do they speak your language?
Absolutely. Yeah. And the other thing that you were mentioning that triggered a thought in me about coming back to fear. So here's the thing. You will take action when the fear of not doing it becomes bigger than the fear of doing it. And what great coaches do is they do that preparation, give you that platform, give you that ability to perform in the spot. So I would not send any of my clients into a presentation on stage, of a Facebook Live, and enrollment comes or any of those things, I would not send them in there until they're already practiced enough through our activities, through every week that we do, so they can perform there and they are not going to be fearful about their outcome. So, but we have to get to the point, for those of you who are kind of like vacillating of doing this, not doing it, your fear will, one side of the fear, one type of the fear of not doing it, or a fear of doing it, is going to win out.
Yeah.
And once that fear of not doing it, almost said, I wrote this in the book too, is that every one of us have a song in our soul. And I learned this when I was a child through one of our poems, that I want every person that comes into my life, I want to give them the chance, the platform, the ability, the confidence to sing their soul. That particular song that is in their soul, that has to be heard, because if it's not, you could have multi-million dollars and 25 houses and 10 Ferraris. You ain't gonna be happy.
Yes, right.
And that's my main mission in life.
Yeah. Because if we're not, you're so right, because you see how many rich people, they're so rich, and like, what happened? Why, what happened that, you go through all that money that no one, like one person can make in a lifetime with 1 year that you make in salary. And then you're still unhappy, you're still doing all of these things, and you're depressed, and then, or you're sick. It's like that you're ill and you can't enjoy the money that you created. It's like so we all have to figure out what is our life purpose, right? It's like, what brings us, like I keep asking people, what brings you joy? What are the things that you're doing every single day that makes your heart sing?
Yes. And actually, again, I love the conversation because you keep bringing these ideas up. So the main part of something that I'm sharing as my takeaway in my ebook, the main part that I want people to understand is that the reason why people that are well off are turning into the same issues, drugs, alcohol, anxiety, and all depression and all this stuff, it has a very simple biological reason as well as mental reasons. And it's so easy for someone like me to see this after a conversation. The point is that we all have one single inner core conflict, what I call the ICC.
Yeah.
And this brings us down every time when we try to go and do something new.
Right.
This literally starts this conversation in our head that creates that negativity. So what happens with the negativity is that it creates the negative chemicals in our body. We have the negative thoughts, creates the negative chemicals. Then we're going to have either a negative action or a no action. Okay. And that's what happens, is that we stop being creative. We stop being physically active because we become tired from the negative thoughts that brings us our energy. Then we stop being creative because it brings down our creativity. And this becomes this incredible cycle that keeps repeating itself, because if you don't create as a human being, that's when you get depressed, because you are made to create. You are made to get all those positive hormones from creation, not from watching TV, not from buying another car, not from your social media feed. It's from creation. And because the society got so comfortable, we don't feel the need to create anymore. While that's our life supporting venue, basically.
It's very true, because I feel like for me, it's like this creation that I'm creating is completely different. It's like, it's engaging, and where my life is not boring anymore, where I'm not like doing accounting every day, reviewing, closing books and doing numbers and stuff like that. I feel like I'm stepping into creating something that's completely unknown. I have
Mm-hmm.
no clue. I'm still sorting out technology. I'm still sorting out support. I'm being very resourceful, asking for help, connecting with people. But it just makes me feel so good knowing that at the end of the day, the results I'm going to get is this powerful summit of all these experts that are providing free information to people that will help them.
Yes.
And that's the outcome. It brings me joy knowing that I'm so close, and these amazing conversations, amazing people I meet. It's just been so powerful. And if I didn't step out of my comfort zone, right, I wouldn't be here.
Exactly.
Right? So
Yeah.
it's just, it's been an amazing, amazing journey for me, just doing what I'm doing. Oh, well,
It's
so
it's actually funny you were mentioning about the comfort zone, because I teach how to get out of comfort zone, right? So every time I meet somebody new and they challenge me to a new direction or to add a direction into my venue,
Mhm.
that is pushing me out of my comfort zone. So like think about one of the things that what I'm trying to do is pull together kind of like a wellness retreat, right? And I have noticed that in my life, which was again in the book, is that I had to figure out my health issues.
Mhm.
And once I figured out my health issues and later on figured out how much like all those, all the different, vitamins and all these things that I am taking that are not just vitamins, but combination
Mhm.
of vitamins with microbiomes and incredible combinations of materials that really help you absorb the vitamins.
Mhm.
Once I figured out that I have to do these things, then my comfort zone was pushed by, okay, how do I bring this in together
Mhm.
and really make it part of my offer when
Mhm.
it's not just mindset?
Mhm.
So we are always pushed. You can't stay because I have a solid program for my mindset now. But wait a minute, we have to support the body.
Mhm.
And you and I were talking about some other things as well.
Yeah,
And how do we support the vehicle,
that's right.
the vessel,
Mhm.
and how we support the vessel is by bringing things in that are incredible
Mhm.
while you're also maintaining the healthy mindset.
That's
And
right.
it's you have to do both. And that's, I'm being pushed now and I'm loving it because I have a new venture that I am putting myself in because it works. Like one of these vitamins have been incredible. My husband has been in hospital 4 times in the past year and has really suffered from these TIA mini strokes.
Mhm.
So to build his body up, it wasn't enough for just the mind.
Mhm.
So the last 2 months, we've been doing all this variation of these incredible vitamins that European vitamins, and they just doing miracle for him.
Mhm.
But I was pushed out of my comfort zone because now I had to study these things. I had to make sure I do the right thing, the right portion, and that's what we need to do. But I feel so much better that I'm doing it because we just went to swim before our thing today, and he swam 8 laps,
Yeah.
8 laps.
Yeah. Well, yeah, we have to look outside, right? Outside of the doctors, the Western doctor, and then look at other healing properties, right? It's either through like Ayurveda, I love Ayurveda, sound
Hmm.
healing,
Hmm.
acupuncture, and natural healing, holistic, looking at all these avenues of healing that's outside of the comfort zone that we're going to the doctor, because we feel so comfortable going to the doctor because we feel that they know, they're a doctor, they know everything. But I realized that no, you need to know everything too.
You
You need
need to
to
know.
take ownership, right? And you need to know what your body's telling you, because the doctor doesn't know what the body's telling you. You telling the doctor what your body's telling you.
Yes,
And so you have to
absolutely.
learn to listen to the
Yeah.
body.
Oh, I love what you just said. You're right. So right point on is that we are responsible for ourselves. And that's going to be the one that's really pushing your
Mhm.
comfort zone, because you can't have others take responsibility for you anymore because they're not doing the right thing. And I don't want to get either political or
Yeah.
against the doctor thing,
Yeah.
because my father was, by the way, a physician, And
Yeah.
I learned from him how to be a good doctor. Not that I did it because I wanted to be an Olympian, not a doctor, but whatever. That's a long story. I still think I'm gonna go and get that medical degree because I'm just dying to have the whole white coat effect, so people
Yeah.
would actually listen to the right thing, right?
Yeah.
But the point is, my father stopped practicing because he loved diagnosing the patient,
Hmm.
not just that problem, but he would say, and I will never forget, if somebody would come in and said, okay, what changed in your life the last month? What changed in your life in the 6 months ago? Oh, you are going through a divorce. Of course. Okay. So he would go into those things that we are doing now.
That's right. That's awesome.
That's what coaches do now. That's one of the things I do all the time is when I assess a person that comes in, we go through that life
Hmm.
segment, like, and we go back several years, but especially the last 4 or 5 years, because that's when a lot of these things take time to develop.
Hmm.
But it's so right what you said, is that we are responsible for ourselves, and I know that people don't like to hear it,
Yeah.
but it also gives you such a sense of power to know that
Right.
you can do something about it.
That's right. It's like it's a power. You're taking back the power that you gave away, because we give away our power.
Hmm.
When we allow people to tell us what to do, we allow society, we allow the news, we allow work, we allow trauma and drama and all that stuff. We give away our power. So I feel
Yes.
like I've taken back my power. It's like, no, you can't have my power anymore. I'm like, I'm
Yep.
powerful, and just like watch me. So I
Yes.
love it. All right, so back to that, like one special question that I always ask my
One special
expert.
question. Wait, let me prepare myself.
Are you
Wait,
ready?
let me think about my Olympic gold and say, you have the strength to handle the special question. Yes, you do. Okay, here I am.
Here it is. If you had one superpower to change the world, what would that be?
Um, I would be able to be in people's mind. Like, I would be able to, like, go inside like a little machine, or a little, I don't want to put like animals, but some kind of a little machine that in the moment the negative thought would come, I would switch it into a positive.
Yes.
So my superpower is to help people turn their negatives into positives and their challenges into opportunities.
Yeah.
So that would be on written all over on my cave, and fly into on people's shoulders and just listen and hear. And I say, oh, right there. And they and that happens all the time with my clients and my students. They're like, how are you like right away changing it? I said, because you have to. You can't allow that negativity to take room in your head. So that would be my superpower.
Yay. I'm with you, right? How do we change
Yep.
everybody? Like even listening to the summit, how do we just an expert that they can relate to, or a thought or something we said that they said, oh yeah, I've been in this comfort zone and now I'm outside of the comfort zone. If just something we said in our conversation that we're having, right? That they would
Hmm.
recognize that, then we've changed one person at a time. It'll be so powerful. Yeah. So how do we find you? And I know we have an offer for people who are listening. So how do we find you?
Yeah. So the best thing is, I have this ebook that is really, really a fun. It's kind of like my thought piece of what is the problem, and what is that one key
Mm-hmm.
that the top 3% of high performers that win have, and we don't,
Mm-hmm.
and how you can get that one key, how it affects your life. And that's the one thought piece that I just want to share with people, because I know that they're going to have major aha moments in there.
Mm-hmm.
And you can always reach out to me on KlaraGubacs.com.
Mm-hmm.
But this particular piece is going to be, I'm assuming, on your link, and this is a
Yeah.
contender to champion. So that is going to be my little thought piece for all of you to just really go inside. It's a specific description of what is that key, that master key, that when you look around and you see that that person is crushing it, that person is crushing it, How is it? It's because of that one key. And
Yeah.
we have to have that key in your life. And that's what I want to share with people.
Yeah. And for, so if you're stuck right now, what would be the one thing you suggest they do? Because there's so much information out there right now, right? So we're like, okay, so what's the tip that you would say, okay, you're stuck, do you go on looking more for people, or, you know, talking to people, or what do you suggest?
Okay. If you stuck, honestly, I don't, again, I did not mean to do this into, you know, telling people to connect with me, but connect with me because it's very simple.
Mhm.
There are usually 3 specific reasons why we are stuck. And when somebody talks to someone like me who have done this for so many years,
Mhm.
it's a 30-minute conversation and I can tell you, okay, this is why you're stuck. You know already that you're stuck, but this is why you're stuck. This is the path that you can take to get out of it. Because for some people, they are stuck because they don't know their genius. Some people have particular triggers that keeps bringing them back. Some people have that inner core conflict that is just so invisible, but at the same time is always bringing them. Some people have lack of confidence. Some people, you know what I'm saying? So I have to see all those things that are addressed in my Winning My Blueprint, because it has 5 stages, and in there somewhere is the answer. So it's almost like when I talk to someone that literally in 30 minutes said, okay, I check the verbiage, I
Mhm.
check the emotions, I check the physical response, we got you.
Awesome.
That's would be the best recommendation, because I can tell you to go to this, that, and the other thing, read this book, read that, but it's not gonna happen. That's gonna help you. I mean, it's gonna be the band-aid that I shared. It's a band-aid. It's wonderful, but the wound inside needs to be cleared out, because if you just slap a band-aid on it, the wound is continuing to get infected, and
Yeah.
then you end up really in a depression, then you end up really in a spot, because it's just going to be so deeply infected. So let us clear that wound out.
Mhm.
Not only that it's not going to hurt, it's going to be phenomenal, the most liberating experience, and that's what you need the courage for, is
Yeah.
to take that first step. After that, it's going to be fantastic.
Easy peasy, right?
Easy, it really is. You know what the hard thing is for independent um, business people, entrepreneurs, people that are high achievers that have done so much for ourselves already? It's very hard for us to say, Dr. Klara, or I need help. I really need your help. It's so hard for us to say that.
Mhm.
And I write that down a little bit in that PDF that I am sending you guys. Is that is the hardest part for independent high achievers, is to swallow our pride and say, what's more important
Mhm.
for me to get out of this garbage
Mhm.
and accomplish what I came here to earth to do,
Mhm.
or I'm going to stay in my drama? Well, I don't want you to stay in no drama.
Yeah. Yeah. It's not, because it's not serving us. So we need to get
Nope.
out. Tell it to get out.
Get out. Get out and get in.
Yes. Well, thank you so much. I so appreciate you coming on, and happy birthday. And again,
Thank you.
thank
We're
you for
going out
coming
with the
on
family
today.
today. Yay,
Yay,
yay.
go celebrate. And then we will touch base again, and I know we'll work together again for more
Yep.
projects. Yay.
That sounds good. I'm planning everything. Have a good one, and good luck with the rest of the summit. And make sure that people understand that this is the time for all of us to get going.
That's right. That's right.
All right.
Bye.
Thank